you hear my voice? Class, can you hear me? Anyone from the group kindly confirm if I'm audible. Okay, so thank you for those who affirmed. Nagtataka si Mr. Elevado ng Mr. Elevado, do you have something to nag-aano siya? Nakita kitang nag-wave sa okay. So okay lang. Miss pala, sorry naman. Yun, I'll be showing the screen para makahabol kayo dun sa discussion kasi nung I think last week or yung during your Radtech week hindi tayo nakapag-class to give way dun sa event. But I'll be uh, sharing now the lecture. So para makahabol kayo. So just let me know kung walang audio. And then kindly na lang din, wait, I'll be sending na rin sa email nyo yung inyong midterm grades. Okay, so yun, let's start na.
Okay, so good morning, class. So our topic for today will be the continuation of the geometric principles, and the visibility and distortion of details. So here, ang majority na itatakal natin is as well connected with the computations ng mga geometric factors. And the first one with that is the magnification. So si magnification din meron siyang computation. So but before we go to the actual step-by-step procedure of doing the computation to somehow judge or evaluate kung desirable pa ba yung magnification natin sa image, balikan natin kung ano nga ba itong magnification ulit. So magnification in radiography refers to enlargement. Again, so when we said magnification, this is the enlargement of the image relative to the actual size of the object. So meaning to say, yung size ng anatomy dun sa radiograph or dun sa image natin is quite bigger. Mas malaki siya kaysa dun sa actual size ng anatomy na nasa loob ng katawan ni patient. So it is determined by the relationship between the source to image receptor distance or yung SID natin and the source to object distances, which are one of the primary geometric factors along with the object size and the image size. So you will see later paano nag-interconnect etong mga distances na to at mga dimensions na to in order for us to derive the magnification factor. Okay, so ito nga yung pagko-compute ng magnification. And so for the magnification factor, our formula is SID over SOD. So yung ating SID, you will see later kung bakit siya ang magko-correspond dun sa ating radiographic image, while the SOD will correspond to the object size. So ang original kasing formula for magnification or magnification factor is image size. Yan, image size, and or later we can abbreviate it as IS, yan, image size over object size. And so by using this formula, itong general formula na to, makikita natin kung mas malaki ba yung image kaysa dun sa true anatomy or object. Kasi commonly, ang nangyayari sa radiography, tatandaan nyo, never tayong nakakagawa ng perfect replica ng anatomy because there's always a certain space, a little space between the image receptor and the anatomy or the object under imaging. So, hindi mo naman perfectly maipa-flat yung anatomy ng pasyente dun sa cassette or sa whatever image receptor you are using. So, palaging nagkakaroon tayo ng magnification. But, that is tolerable as long na hindi siya masyadong malaki. So, paano natin makikita kung ano yung relationship ng magnification or yung object image magnification compared to the actual size by using these formulas. So, kapag si image size masyadong malaki, compared sa object size, obviously you will see that the magnification is quite higher. So kapag sumosobra na yan ng mga 1.5, 1.5 pataas, o it only means na halos dumoble na yung paglaki ng image or yung image ng anatomy compared dun sa actual size niya, and that is not acceptable. So masyado nang magiging blurred and distorted yung ating image. Hindi niya masyadong ganong ka detalyadong re-render doon sa ating image receptor yung image nung true anatomy. Okay, so ito yung generalized formula natin. But in imaging kasi, usually, ang mas alam natin is the distances. Ito kasi unless na lang you ano talaga, you measure using measuring devices yung image size, and you just gonna derive the object size. Ang usual kasing setup, kinocompute lang natin or hinahanap natin yung object size kasi it's very difficult to identify kung ano talaga yung totoong size ng laman loob ng pasyente. So wala namang buksan natin yon. So we can just only derive it by using this formula para makita natin kung nag-magnify ba yung image niya. So eto nga, usually ang ating alam is yung SID. So that is the distance between the X-ray tube or the source hanggang dun sa ating image receptor, cassette, or whatsoever na IR, divided by the source to object distance. So ito yung mas madaling gamitin, especially kapag sa mga imaging procedures to estimate or to compute more correctly the magnification factor. Now, to check whether masyadong malaki or yung percentage ng pag-zoom, paglaki ng image compared dun sa kanyang anatomical size, we can use this formula naman or the magnification rate. So, ang formula ng magnification rate, magnification factor. So, usually kasi ang 1, pag na-compute yung magnification factor is 1, it only means na yung size ng image is equal to the size of the object. So pag 1 ang na-compute mong magnification factor, same ng size sa image, same din ng size sa object, kaya nga nakuha mo yung flat 1. However, hindi palagi nangyayari yon kasi nga sa radiography palaging may magnification. Ang goal natin para hindi maging masira yung quality, mini-minimize natin siya. Okay, so ngayon to check gaano ka magnify. So the lower the better, the higher, the poorer the quality. So kapag minus mo yung 1, let's say nakakuha ka ng 1.2. So minus mo sa 1, that will result into 0.2 times mo sa 100, that will correspond kung sa percentage 20%. So 20% ang magnify. So habang lumalapit sa 100% yung magnification rate, dumodoble yung size nung ano natin nung image compared dun sa true anatomical size. And so as much as possible minimize natin yan to lessen the distortion of details. Now, sa radiography, ang common na pwedeng ipa-derive pa sa iyo aside from checking the magnification factor is the object size. So to compute for the object size, we can somehow use this formula. So, image size divided by the magnification factor. So, ito yung general formula. So, nanggaling yun dito. So, dinerive lang. So, if you're going to cross multiply, magsasama dyan yung image size, mas-separate equals to magnification factor times the object size. So, dividing both side by the magnification factor kasi ang kailangan natin is object size. So, you will see the formula for object size. Yan, image size divided by magnification factor. So which is presented here. Yan. So yun yung gagamitin nyo in order to compute kung ano yung possible na true size ng anatomy para mas ma-compare nyo pa siya doon sa size ng image na nakuha nyo doon sa may radiograph. So sa boards kasi minsan pinapakompute to. It's important that you know how to deal with them. And image size naman, it's very obvious. This is just object size times magnification factor. But again, ang image size kasi hindi siya masyadong pinapakuha kasi nga obviously you can measure it directly sa radiograph. Pero for the sake of some hypothetical situation or mga theoretical application, ito yung formula niya. Pero ang common kasing pinapakompute dito, yung true anatomical size, saka yung magnification factor and magnification rate, which is given or presented here yung kanilang formula. Okay, so again na yung SID natin, source to image distance from the X-ray tube to the image receptor, while the SOD is source to object distance. Yung ito naman yung distance between the X-ray tube and the object being image. So to make it more more easy to grasp, ito yung kanilang representation here. So ito yung ating SOD. Yan. So yung kulay green tapos yung yellow naman is yung etang SID. So yung mas mahaba kasi yan yung pupunta sa image receptor natin sa SID, yan yung object sa image size, should I say. Tapos yung kulay green naman, mas maikli, ang kanyang destination lang is yung anatomy of investigation, kung ano mang organs yan or hanggang kay patient lang. Kaya siya yung representation ng object size. Kasi yun yung talagang pinanggalingan ng image na nakikita natin dun sa radiograph. Again, SID correspond to the image size while SOD to the object size. Kaya nga kapag hindi given yung dalawang sizes, you can compute still the magnification by using the known dimension, yung SID and SOD natin. Ipag-divide mo lang sila, makuha mo yung magnification. And you can use or you can integrate them in order to compute for the unknown. So ito siya ito yung ano niyan yung extension ng mga formula na pinakita. But again, in a more detailed fashion, ito yung ating mga distances. So be familiar with them, master them kasi nga sa practice and in your exam, it's necessary na alam nyo tong mga dimensions na to para kapag maia-adjust, alam nyo kung ano yung babaguhin, hindi kayo nako-confuse ano yung mga distances na nag-interplay. Like halimbawa dito sa SOD hanggang dito lang siya sa object, si patient kanina, SID yung pinakamahaba kasi hanggang sa image receptor yan mula dun sa ating X-ray tube. Si SID, kung naalala nyo, that is also known as the FFD or the focal to film distance. Mula sa focal spot hanggang dun sa image receptor natin or yung X-ray film. So si SOD tinatawag din siyang FOD or focal to object distance between the focal spot hanggang dun sa object na ini-image. And we have the OID, object to image receptor distance between the patient or the anatomy hanggang dun sa image receptor. Tinatawag din siyang OFD or object to film distance. And another shown here is your central ray. So central ray natin yung average energy. Kumbaga nasa kanya yung 100% nung strength ng ating beam. Okay, so let me get my pen lang na-click ko. Wait lang. Okay, yan. So, going back. Yan, so central ray, this is the average energy or across the field of your X-ray beam. Kasi nga, we know the anode Hill effect. So, yung anode side, mas mahina siya, around 70 to 75% lang. Samantalang itong ating cathode side, nasa 120% yung kanyang lakas. At yung may 100, yung pinaka-average nung dalawa, si central ray. And sa mga subjects nyo in your higher year level, ma-encounter nyo yung application ng central ray. But for here, just mentioning na meron tayong central axis at siya si central ray. Siya yung mini-maintain natin na dapat perpendicular doon sa tatlong plane na dapat parallel. Na-discuss natin yan before. Dapat parallel tong tatlong plane ng X-ray tube, plane ng patient, plane ng ating image receptor so that to prevent shape distortion like your foreshortening and elongation. Now, yung central with respect to the central ray naman, yung plane ng IR sa kanang patient or nung anatomy should be perpendicular. And yan yung pinaka general rule natin. Pero again, meron din tayong mga exception to that rule to be tackled by some of your subjects sa mga succeeding semesters. Okay, so yun ano tayo dito. Okay, so those are some of the important dimension dapat na master. Okay, so once again, just to recap your magnification and to add more ways to compute for the unknown. So ayan na ipinakita ulit dito yung mga distances natin, and as you can see, as we increase the OID, yan, nagkakaroon tayo ng mas malaking magnification which makes the image to be shown na blurred, may mga nawawalang detail. So along with the SID, pag yung SID na yan maikli, mas nagma-magnify din yung image. So we discussed this principle before. So ito pa yung additional formula, so you can integrate this mga formula na to get the ng common kasing pwedeng ipahanap pa is the object size. So ito yung mas combined na form in case man na ipa-compute sa inyo. So you just going to multiply the image size dun sa ratio ng SOD saka ng SID. So you just going to kaya nakuha to, pinag-cross multiply lang dito yan. So pinag-integrate lang sila. So pagka ginawa niyan, that is the image size over the times the SOD equals to object size times the SID. So pinahanap is the object size, kaya divide both side yan sa SID. Yan. So kaya cancel dito sa side na to. Yan, anong naging formula ng object size? Image size over SOD divided by SID. Yan, so all over SID, which is similar din dito sa binigay na formula. So you can play around dito sa generalized formula, yung para makuha nyo yung unknown kasi common to pinapa-compute. So you must know how to deal with them in order to evaluate and to somehow check gaano na nag-magnify yung image compared doon sa true size nung anatomy na kinuhanan natin. So a reminder though nabanggit na natin to, but since we are dealing again with the geometric factors and yung effect ng mga distances, particularly sa magnification, so tandaan, ito yung mga remedy or mga compensating factors natin kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng magnification. So enlarge the SID, so habaan ng SID because large SID can somehow counter the magnification. So kapag hindi mo or nagkaroon ng pag-increase ng OID, and we know kapag nag-increase ng OID, anong mangyayari? Magma-magnify. So to combat that, para ma-reverse natin, we can lengthen the SID. And si SID yung magpapabalik or magpapabawas ng magnification na nagawa nung malaking OID. Similarly, kapag kasagad na yung OID mo, I mean the SID, pero may magnification, gusto mo pang i-lessen yon, ipaliitin mo na yung OID kasi nga ang rule natin directly proportional ang OID sa magnification or yung distortion ng size. So kapag mas malaki ang OID, mas malaki ang magnification. So what are you going to do? So liitan mo siya or mag-decrease ka ng OID, place the anatomy as close as possible doon sa image receptor in contact para ma-sharp and malesen natin yung magnification. So yan yung general rule na nabanggit din natin before, just to refresh lang. Okay, so let's have an example here. So a radiograph daw is taken with an SID of 100 centimeter and the object is located 80 centimeter from the X-ray source, which is yan yung ating SOD 80 centimeter. So ang SID naman natin 100 centimeter. So the object size is actual size is 5 centimeters. Ano yung mga given? So sa mga problem, dapat alam nyo identify yung mga given para alam nyo kung ano yung nawawala. So yan, though na-mention naman dito ni list down, pero sa ibang problem kasi minsan you need to pick or to somehow analyze what particular factor is to be solved. Yan. So yung SID natin dito 100 centimeter, yung ating SOD actual size. So using this given, we can compute for the magnification factor. Ang formula naman ng magnification factor natin, ito sila. Yan. So ang magnification factor natin is SID divided by SOD. So given 100, dapat na to reminder parehas silang centimeter. Kung di parehas centimeter to, magko-convert pa kayo. So 100 centimeter over 80 centimeter na SOD. Yan, so kapag kinumpute natin 1.25. Yan, so that is the magnification factor which is quite acceptable kasi kung i-compute niyo yung magnification rate, so that is 1.25 minus 1, that will give you 0.25 times 100, 25%. So as long siguro na approximately less than 50%, yan okay pa. Pero kapag umaabot ka na ng 50%, hindi na tolerable yan. Masyado ng blurred or distorted yung image mo. Yan kaya as small as possible. Yung mga 20, mga 0.20 okay pa yan. Pero lumalapit ka sa 0.50, yan hindi na maganda yon. Yan, so that is how we can check yung magnification niya. And if you're going to compute for the image size, kasi binigay naman dito yung object size. So yung using yung formula na binigay kanina, object size times magnification factor. So ang magnification factor natin is 1.25 at yung object size na binigay kanina is 5 centimeter. So multiply nyo lang yun, makukuha nyo is 6.25 centimeter. So to check kung tama ba to, so i-try nyo ulit i-compute yung magnification factor using the original formula of image size over object size. So ang image size natin na ibinigay dito is ang nakuha natin is 6.25. And we have 6.25. Tapos ang ating object size is 5 centimeter. So pag kinumpute mo yan, 6.25 divided by your 5 centimeter, ang makukuha yung magnification factor is also 1.25. And so kung i-compute nyo siya, so that is one way to check kung tama ba yung mga napagkukuha nyo. Yan, kasi using the original formula. Okay na. So, yan, ito yung mga summary ng results. So, another additional na lang siguro is object percent of magnification. Kung mas gusto niyo nang mas mabilis siyang makuha directly dun sa equation, you can just instead na paghihiwalayin niyo pa yung pagkuha ng magnification rate, gusto niyo diretso na hindi na i-separate yung magnification na computation, you can just use this one. So image size minus object size divided by object size times 100. Yan. So yan yung ating magiging times 100 yun. Makukuha mo yung object percentage of magnification. Yan. So that is one way around to compute for magnification pag gusto nyo diretso na. So minus nyo na lang yung image size sa object size, tapos divide nyo sa object size times 100 to check gaano nag-magnify yung image natin nung naging yung object natin nung naging image siya sa radiograph. Okay, so ito mas diretso kasi, but you can also use this one. Okay, so let's talk about the focal spot blur and or the concept of blooming. And may blooming din tayo sa focal spot along with the penumbra. Though nabanggit naman na natin to nung mga earlier discussions natin, but let's expound it here. So focal spot blur occurs due to geometry of the X-ray tube, yung way ng pagkaka-arrange ng kanyang mga internal elements, and like yung mga electronics or yung mga parts ng anode and cathode. So how they are placed with respect to each other. So yung pagkakagawa nila, yun yung nagko-cause neto, particularly nasa bang focal spot, nasa anode. So it is the result of the finite size of the focal spot. So meron siyang definite na size na hindi totoo yung sinasabi na spot siya. Kasi pag sinabi mong spot, tuldok lang. Hindi naman talaga siya tuldok, but instead it is an oblong shape na sa iba pang mga book ang tawag sa shape niya double banana. Ayan, kapag kung nabasa niyo sa libro niyo na binili, double banana sa ibang reference 'yan. Pero iba pa nga rectangular. Yan, pero hindi siya perfect na tuldok lang talaga. Hindi siya talaga spot lang. It is multiple spot na magkakatabi. Kaya siya, meron siyang rectangular shape na nakikreate. Leading to unsharpness. Kasi kapag spot lang, isa lang yung beam natin. Pero dahil nga hindi siya spot, marami sila na magkakatabi doon sa area na na-occupy nila sa anode. Multiple beams yan ng anode na ng X-ray beam na magkaka-overlap. Yan. So which is kapag tumama sa image, kanya-kanya sila ng nakikreate. Though si primary beam, siya ang pinaka magiging malinaw, siya yung magiging tinatawag nating umbra. Ay magiging umbra siya. Tapos yung mga mapupunta sa gilid, yung mga mas mahihina, they will be rendered as unsharpness or yung edge niya magbe-blurred. Yung blurring na yun or unsharpness yung tinatawag nating penumbra. Just like this one, yung nakikita nyong maliwanag, yung pinaka-sharp na mga edges, that is the boundary of the umbra or true object. Pero since na hindi talaga true or hindi talaga perfect spot si focal spot, magkakaroon tayo ng mga unsharpness sa gilid or blurring. Yun yung tatawagin nating umbra. At dahil nga yun sa nature ng focal spot natin na hindi siya perfect na tuldok lang, it is a larger dimension na magpuproduce ng multiple overlapping X-ray cone or beam of X-ray. Ayan, that is the concept of umbra. And you will see later bakit siya nagbo-bloom. And merong nagti-trigger ng pagbo-bloom ng focal spot natin. Okay, but to somehow check, meron din kasi tayong formula to compute for the focal spot blur. And to somehow check kung masyadong magiging distorted yung penumbra niya or masyadong malaki yung blurred sa gilid, you can compute the focal spot blur using this formula. Effective focal spot. So pag sinabi nating effective focal spot, meron kasi tayong dalawang focal spot. So yung nakaharap sa anode, yung mismo nakaharap sa anode na sa cathode natin should I say, this is the actual focal spot size. Yan yung mas malaki. Tapos yung nakaproject sa pasyente, yung nakatapat doon sa window ng X-ray tube para dumating sa pasyente, that is the effective. So this is the actual, yung mas malaki. Yung effective naman na focal spot size, siya yung mas maliit na nakatapat sa pasyente. So mas dinisign yung maliit ang itututok sa pasyente para mas ma-improve yung quality ng image. Though inherently magkakaroon talaga ng paglabo dahil dun sa focal spot blur. Pero dahil sa ano na to sa pagiging smaller ano niya, smaller compared sa actual focal spot, nai-improve or medyo nag-sharpen yung image natin na yun yung somehow tumutulong para labanan yung effect ng focal spot blaring na inherent na yun, hindi na natin pwedeng matanggal na dahil sa pagkakagawa nga kasi siya ng X-ray tube. Ang tawag natin sa principle na to, yung anode is naka-angle is line focus principle. Yan, line focus principle ang tawag natin dyan. Line focus principle. Naka-angle si anode, naka-slant siya. So depende sa book to pero magkakaiba ang kanilang mga angle sa iba 7 to 15, 15 to 20, pero let's say 15 to 20. Yan yung angulation ng heel ng anode which somehow helps to improve the quality by making the effective focal spot smaller compared sa actual focal spot. However, may consequence yan, as you know, na ano naging consequence nito, yung ating anode hill effect. Yan. So, tinulungan ng line focus principle para malabanan yung focal spot blur, pero naging problem na nag-arise dito yung anode hill effect. Na kung alam niyo yung principle, though yes, may disadvantage siya, but you can also use it or take advantage, especially kapag gagamitin niyo sa mga uneven size anatomy. Tinatapat yung anode side sa mas manipis, yung cathode side sa mas makapal para mas uniform yung density across the field once na ma-render na siya dun sa ating radiograph. Yan. So, ito yung mga interplaying principle dito sa ano natin si focal spot blur, line focus principle, anode hill effects. Dapat alam nyo kung paano nagko-connect yung tatlong yun because they are inherently nangyayari sa loob ng X-ray tube once you are dealing with it or doing an examination. Yan. Ito nga yung formula since na nabanggit na natin sa effective focal spot, multiply nyo lang yun sa object or sa object to image receptor distance or OID divided by or all over sa source to object distance. And so yan yung formula natin. Ito pa yung mas additional. Furthermore, the focal spot blur is caused by the effective size of the focal spot. Hindi nga kasi siya talaga spot, it is it's a more rectangular dimension. So kaya nag-overlap yung multiple cones of beams na kaya ang nagiging appearance siya nagkakaroon ng penumbra or shadowing sa gilid, yung malabong image na different doon sa true boundary nung image natin, yung mas sharper. And so this sabi dito the most important factor for determining the spatial resolution. Bakit most important factor siya? Kasi siya yung panggagalingan nung cone ng beam na gagamitin natin for actual imaging. Kaya kapag may problema yung focal spot, it will talagang papapangitin niya yung quality. Kaya dapat na ano pa to na check. So nasa ano niyo to may subject kayo ng pagche-check ng focal spot para masabi na dapat na siyang ipaayos or ipalitan. Kasi once na dumating na yung point na nasirang-sira na yung kanyang quality, we can suggest na dapat nang palitan yung anode. Yan, particularly because of the problem na nagagawa ng focal spot niya. Because as the tube age, yan, nagbabago yung kanyang performance. Okay, so the smaller on the anode side than the cathode side of the image and that is brought by the Hill effect. So again, ang ano natin, ang focal spot blur, yung nagagawang unsharpness nung size, yung ng dimension ng focal spot, mas malaki sa cathode side. And that is reverse. Kung mapapansin nyo, reverse to ng effect ng anode hill effect. Sa anode hill, mas malakas ang energy ng cathode, but ang consequence naman nun, mas malabo ang side ng cathode dahil sa mas malaking focal spot blur. Sa side ng anode, mas mahina yung intensity ng beam, yung side ng beam doon, pero mas sharper ang image dahil mas smaller ang focal spot blur. Yan. So yan yung interconnection yan na dapat maintindihan nyo, especially kapag ina-apply nyo na sa mga actual procedure. Yan. So again, ito yung general formula ng focal spot blur. SOD over OID equals effective focal spot divided by the focal spot blur. So by deriving the equation, nakuha tong formula na to. The focal spot blur is simply to be multiplied by the effective focal spot times the OID divided by the SOD. Yan. So yan yung formula natin for the focal spot blur pag pinakompute sa inyo. Okay, so blooming. Yan, kung sa tao maganda ang blooming, sa X-ray tube hindi maaganda ang blooming. Hindi magandang pakinggan pag sinabi nagbo-bloom ang iyong X-ray tube, ang iyong focal spot. Because focal spot blooming occurs when the size of the focal spot increases. Anong nagti-trigger sa kanya? High tube current. Yan. So kaya pag mga malalaking anatomy na ginagamitan natin ng higher tube output na higher MA, it would lead to greater image and sharpness. Magbo-bloom kasi yung ating focal spot. From smaller focal spot, lalaki siya. Yan. Kaya mas mataas yung MA na ina-apply mo, and that is commonly required by bigger size anatomy. Kaya ka nga nagtataas ng MA para mas mataas yung output ng X-ray tube na penetrate maganda yung density. But the problem with that, sa pagdating sa sharpness, maglalabo ng konti dahil lalaki yung ano natin, yung effective focal spot or simply the focal spot. Ang tawag natin sa phenomenon na yon is focal spot blooming. So ano nagpapataas sa kanya? Higher tube current. Yan. So proper control of exposure setting minimizes this effect. Kaya dapat tinatansya. Hindi porket para safe tataasan mo na lang yung MA para whatever happens, penetrated yung anatomy. Pero wag naman sobrang taas kasi nga pag sinobrahan mo yung taas, magbo-bloom. At again, sa tao, okay lang mag-bloom. Pero kapag sa X-ray tube nangyari ang blooming, nasisira yung kanyang quality ng mga image na nagagawa niya. So you need to be careful with that. Okay, so once again, focal spot blur, Hill effect, there is more to the Hill effect than just attenuation of the beam by the anode. So yung Hill effect natin, nagkukos siya ng focal spot blur. Yan, at anong tawag natin doon, ultimate na pinanggalingan nito, yung line focus principle, yung pagkaka-angle ng ating anode side. And to somehow make the effective focal spot smaller. Yan. However, dahil nga doon, sa pagkaka-angle na yon, nagkakaroon tayo ng Hill effect. And consequence ng Hill effect, secondary na or as another repercussion niya is yung etong tinatawag nating focal spot blaring. And si cathode malakas nga pero malabo naman. Si anode mahina pero ma-sharp yung side niya. Kaya dapat alam natin kung saan natin ipopwesto or kailan natin mas gagamitin yung mga characteristic na to, especially kapag kailangan pala natin ng improve or increase visibility of detail, na kapag ginamit mo yung mas matataas na factor or mga factor na magpapalabo, masisira yung kailangan nating detail. So dapat alam nyo siyang intindihin. Focal spot blur is caused by effective size of the focal spot which is larger at the cathode side. Kaya tandaan ng kaya mas malaki ang focal spot blur sa cathode side, mas malaki kasi yung yung effective focal spot size. Sa anode naman mas maliit kaya mas sharper, pero ang sacrifice niya yung lakas niya. Kasi nagkakaroon ng filtering effect yung hil ng anode pagka nag-emerge na sa kanya yung X-ray beam or yung mga X-ray photons. So emphasizing again, focal spot blur is the most important factor in determining spatial resolution. Why most important? Kasi sa kanya talaga nanggagaling yung cone ng beam or yung X-ray beam na siyang gagamitin to image the anatomy. So kung dito pa lang may sira na, so kahit ano pa mang technique ang gawin mo diyan, ano pa mang pagkakalikot ng paggagamit ng mga principles ng imaging. So, kung yung mismong panggagalingan or yung source ang may tama, magkakaroon din ng tama yung quality ng image. Yan na. So, you need to somehow check this one. You are able to identify na dahil pala sa focal spot kasi minsan yan yung reason kung bakit kailangan ng papalitan yung X-ray tube. And the X-ray tube is the most expensive. Kaya as much as possible, we take care of this component of the machine. Kasi once na nasira yan, gagastos ng malaki. Karaniwan pagka mga high-end na machine, milyones magpapalit ng tubo. You need to do your best as much as possible to lengthen the life of the X-ray tube. Okay, so let's have an example here para mas makuha natin kung paano mag-compute ng focal spot blur. Yan, so a radiograph is taken with the following parameters. So effective focal spot size, ito yung kanyang effective focal spot, yung SOD niya 80 cm, object to image receptor distance 20 cm. So yung pinapa-compute is the focal spot blur. So anong formula nga ng effective focal spot blur formula? So effective focal spot size divided times the object to image receptor distance divided by SOD, which is all given here. Yan, ayan, giniven na siya. So substitute na lang tayo. So the effective focal spot size is 0.06. Yan, dapat siya, centimeter. So kung mapapansin nyo, 0.6 siya, millimeter siya dito. Pero pagdating dito sa my formula, nung sinubstitute siya 0.06. Why? Kasi nga naka-millimeter. You cannot use millimeter kung gusto mo lahat centimeter yan. So, kinonvert siya into millimeter. Sa paano ginawa dyan? Remember, ang isang centimeter, merong kang 10 millimeter. Meron kang 10 millimeter dyan. So, essentially, ang ginawa lang dyan, dinivide lang sa 10. So, divide by 10, kaya nakuha yung 0.06. Yan. So, conversion factor. Yan. Kasi kung gusto mong panatilihin yung millimeter, i-convert mo naman tong centimeter lahat into a millimeter, which is mas matrabaho. Kaya ang ginawa na lang, siya yung kinonvert. Yan. Kaya naging formula dito, 0.06 times 0.20 all over 80. Yan, all over 80 equals ang 0.06 times 20 is 1.2. So pag divide natin yan sa 80, 0.015 centimeter, or ang ating focal spot blur na meron tayo is 0.15 millimeter, which is acceptable naman siya. So hindi naman siya ganun masyadong malaki. Pero pag ito malapit na sa 1 centimeter, nagiging centimeter na siya halos, yan, that is a problem. Kasi makikita mo dun sa image, masyadong malabo. Parang may multo dun sa gilid ng image na nagawa mo. Kaya as much as possible, dapat less than 1 centimeter yan. So maganda pa nga kung negligible halos, 0.00, yung mga ganong dimension, that is good. Parang walang makikita masyado yung mata mo na paglabo or unsharpness dun sa gilid ng image. Kasi once na mangyayari yon, masakit sa mata na i-evaluate yung image. And so here is the summary of what we have discussed so far. So magnification factor determines how much the object is enlarged in the image. So pagka magnification factor, gaano nang magnify o gaano mas lumaki yung image size compared sa actual anatomical size, which is pagka masyadong mataas ang magnification factor, it only means na distorted or nagkaroon ng size distortion na hindi acceptable yung image natin. Dapat mga 0.2 or less than 50% yung kanyang enlargement para hindi masyadong sira yung visibility of detail. So focal spot blur is caused by finite size of the focal spot, so calculated using the focal spot blur formula. Yan nga, ito yung formula na diniscuss natin. So which is somehow a way to address kung nagbo-bloom na ba or nasisira, should I say, pagka kasi bloom, that is brought by your excessive MA na ginamit pag masyadong mataas. Yan na. So pag si focal spot there is not tolerable anymore, pwede nang papalitan. Baka pala may mga crack pit or masyado nang na ano kumbaga ba yung dating smooth na surface ng anode ngayon butas-butas na siya or sira-sira na. Baka kailangan na palang palitan. Kaya nagbabago na yung kanyang focal spot their characteristic. So penumbra, ito yung blurring at the image edges due to focal spot geometry. So dahil dun sa focal spot natin na hindi nga siya perfect na spot, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga edge blurriness, and that is normal as long na konti or maliit lang siya na masho-show ng ano natin ng formula na to. So maliit lang, acceptable yan. Wala tayong problema. Pero pag mas malaki, yung penumbra, yun ang may problem. And tapos again, general rule of thumb, minimize OID and increase SOD to reduce magnification and unsharpness. So pagka meron kang magnification or size distortion, ang mga solution dyan is paliitin ang OID at i-increase ang SOD. Kung hindi mo kaya yung parehas, isa lang dito. Pero better kung parehas mo silang maximize to improve the visibility of detail. Kasi nga, no radiograph is perfect. Walang radiograph na walang-wala talagang magnification. Lahat sila meron. Pero dapat pag ginawa natin sila, pinreduce natin sila, minimize to the negligible level yung kanilang size distortion para ma-maintain natin yung quality ng image which is good for diagnosis. And that's all for this topic. I'm hoping that you've learned something, and thank you.
Okay, class, may I confirm, do you have any question regarding our topic? Clarification, may ano ba kayo, may tanong kayo dun sa ating topic ngayon? Okay, so if there's none so far, you have the permission na to take your rest and kindly wait na lang dun sa isa-send ko sa mga pinrovide yung email, and make sure you provided correct email ha to those who are not yet uh, signing or providing their details, pakilagay na so that you will receive your grade for consultation. Yun, so, a reminder lang para ano, baka magtaka kayo wala kayong grade na yung ibang classmate meron, kayo wala. So, make sure you dun sa GC, pakilagay yung mga details na hinihingi ko, especially the email, and paki-double check kung tama and working pa yung email na yon. So far, that's all for now, and uh, have a restful evening. Okay na everyone, you have the permission to leave na.